Recently I saw a video. It was a director who was saying that he transitioned from the being cameraman to the director, and he did that shift very instant. So he dropped all the old clients from the videography and started to do directing thing. And he's saying about this as some sort of a mistake, and he recommend to the viewers, saying that you better not do that mistake, you better maintain your old clients so you would have some safe revenue while you transition to the new thing. And I heard a lot of actually videos like this where people saying that they did instant transition, and they're saying about this as some sort of a mistake, and they recommend you to do like the monkey who jumped from one branch to another. Not jump, they hold the old branch and they release the old branch only when they hold the new one. That's what they recommend to do. And I also transitioned from the bartendering to freelancing instantly. Not because I wanted to do like this, just I had no other options because it was a COVID and all the bars were closed and I had to find new source of income. And I realized that more likely, if I would do the transition very gradually, so for example, I would work as a bartender, and on my days off, I would find the clients on the freelance, I would learn a new skill, more likely I wouldn't be here where I am right now, because it took really a lot of time and it took a lot of effort, and it's not really easy to start as a freelancer. You need to learn a lot of things and it takes a lot of time. And of course, for the initially, in the first period of time, you wouldn't earn much, and you would fail a lot. And if you, I mean, what you're expecting, if you expect from freelancing easy money, a lot of time for yourself initially, not gonna happen. So if I would do the gradual shift, I don't think that I would have enough resources to do so. Because if you do instant transition, you have no other options. Like hunger is your motivation. You just have no other option. Because if you transition gradually, first thing, if we're talking about, okay, 6 to 12 months you need to work to be able to leave your old job and move to the freelancing, for example. It could be not just this, it could be other things like moving from the industries or building your business. It always requires a lot of work initially, and if you need to combine one job with another thing, it's already a lot of work, a lot of effort, and it's already hard. And if you're talking about 6-12 months of grinding, it sounds not that hard, you know. Oh, 6-12 months, just, you know, okay, I will just grind, I will just work. But in reality, it's a lot. It's a lot. And working hard for 6-12 months is really hard, because else something might happen, you know, you might start to have pain in your back, for example, because of the sitting of the in front of the computer, and you're like, oh, I better not. And that's first reason. Second reason is, as I said, motivation. When you have no other options, you would just work. Because if you always can, you know, undo all the impulses towards freelancing, for example, of course you would undo it at a certain point. Why, you will have one bad client, or some client will not pay to you, which is kind of mistake that every freelancer has to go through. And once something like this happens, or you will struggling to find a client, you will be like, oh, it takes so much time, I don't have any results, nah, I better do my job, and it seems like freelancing is not working. And that's the point. I experienced the same thing with immigration. When I immigrate to another country, I was thinking about, I never even thought about, going back home. I was like, okay, I will just go to another country and I will assimilate there. And I didn't even have a thought that, oh, maybe I can just, go home. Screw that. And that's why my process wasn't that hard, because um, I never had an option in my mind to undo my actions. Same here. If you start to transition for freelancing, I would recommend you to do instant shift. Do that mistake, because it will be much easier to you. You will have no excuses, because once you put all the chips on yourself, you will have no excuses to not perform as best as you can. And that's what I noticed in my life. If I have option to not work hard, I would not work hard. If I have option to not use all my capacities or my capabilities or my skills, all my skills, I wouldn't do it. But when I have to, I use them all, and I'm shocked how good I am actually. And that happens to me a couple of times. And in example of immigration, the same thing. I realized that I capable of much more things that I was expecting from myself. And if it works to me, more likely it will work for anyone. At least I believe in that. Of course, every human being is different, but I believe that things that work for me will work for others, same as things that work for others will work for me. I don't think that we human beings such a big difference between each other. And actually, I wanted to mention the third thing. Let me just check what it was. You might don't even start if you don't have a good reasoning. And hunger is a good reasoning. When you don't have other source of income, it's a good reasoning. You're like, okay, I have no other options. I just have to grind. I have to find the ways how to gain clients. I have to put more time. I have to find some time to learn skills, because if you have free time and you can just play computer games, why not playing computer games? But when you have not, when you don't have that option, when you like them, every hour counts, and I need to make it work, you will work, and you will find the way how to make it work out for you. And the last thing I wanted to share with you is survival bias or survivorship bias. That's what I said at the start of the video about the guys who said that it was a mistake to make an instant shift, to make a big transition right away. And I've found to myself that it's actually a survival bias. If you don't know that phenomenon, you can Google it. But in that example, it means that they reach their destination, they succeed not despite the fact they did an instant transition, but because of that. So when person succeed and he's saying, oh, that and that were my mistakes, it means that those mistakes more likely weren't that crucial, because if those mistakes would be really crucial, they wouldn't succeed. That's the point of the survivorship bias. And I think it also works in that case. So when people who succeed saying that I would better do a gradual shift, not do instant transition, more likely it's survivorship bias. And for me, it worked the same. Instant transition worked for me much better, because I never expected from myself that I would work so hard and I would save money so hard, because it was really hard for the first 6 months for me to work as a freelancer without other sources of income. So if you do the transition, if you plan to do the transition, maybe it's a good idea to have some money, extra money, but also don't over you know, over accumulate money to that, because otherwise it might never happen to you. And of course, it's on your own risk. Not everyone can handle this. I understand that in some situations people have family, but they have kids, they have debts, and other stuff. But once you put all the chips, as I said, on yourself, you will have no excuses to not perform the best. And also I would like to finish that video with the quote of the, I think, Christopher Columb, who said, you would never cross the ocean if you're afraid to lose a sight of the shore. So you would never jump to a new branch as a monkey if you would never release the old branch, or would be afraid to release it. Same work here. Wish you all a good day.